how, again, these women, like, I know these actors and actresses, son of a biscuit! I knew that was gonna happen. Alright, well, we are back. We're gonna do our review of Supergirl 519, titled, excuse me, I wish it was 519.
Kill me now.
We will fight.
I'm just kidding.
219, titled Alex. Phenomenal episode. I'm Shannon.
I'm Jadon.
And we're part of Nerd Jams, and we'll get into it.
Yeah.
This episode should have been 2 episodes. I don't think TV shows utilize 2 parts enough anymore.
Yeah.
And as always, I mean, all of the Supergirl episodes are fast-paced, but as good as it was, obviously I want more. But as good as it was, I feel like you could have fleshed it out so much more. You had freaking Greg Henry, the character actor who plays the dad.
Great, he's amazing.
He's amazing! Again, just like we talked about how you had Kevin Sorbo. Like, you had Greg Henry, and you could have fleshed this out and given it. And I loved the guy who played the Rick.
Yes.
Like, I thought he did a great job. And you could have just had, like, you could have put James in the frickin' episode because, hello, Alex is missing and James isn't there.
No, I didn't miss his...
I don't miss him.
I didn't miss his presence in this episode. I felt like there was too much going on, and they had a pace that they were setting that to divert and pick up another character and put them in would be to just kind of...
I mean, I didn't miss him, but, you know, he is a main cast member, so it was kind of weird that you didn't see or hear his name dropped at all.
Yeah.
And Maggie's in Catco when they find out, and you don't see James. Different things like that.
Well,
but I just feel like...
Catco.
Well, true. But I really just feel like it could have been 2 episodes, and it could have been angsty or more angst and just really good. And they could have just fleshed it out more. And you could have moved the story along a little bit more.
I see what you mean.
Other than that, it was really freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about, like, what you could have had with, what's his name, the character actor?
Greg Henry.
Greg Henry. When you think about his acting ability and just, if you think about what they could have done if they brought James in, then yeah, it feels like it could have worked as a 2-parter. But I'm also on the side that I'm fine with it being 1 part. It's a 1 episode thing, especially near the end of the season.
Well, yeah, and like I said, like I get it. I still loved the episode, but this would have been a great chance for a to-be-continued episode. You end it right when Supergirl realizes her mistake and the clock goes to 4 hours, and I would have been yelling at my TV.
Okay, so this is not a dig at Lena at all.
Okay.
But this episode had the most Lutherian, I guess.
Luther-esque.
Yeah, Luther-esque character in the entire series so far, and he wasn't even a Luthor. And that was Rick. Mm-hmm. This whole episode was like kind of like an homage to Batman v Superman. A lot of it. To the kidnapping of Martha and stuff, because they actually referenced that scene on the helicopter pad, which was good.
They also had another Superman reference. Did you catch it? When Supergirl is talking to Jean about how she feels helpless. Did you catch it?
Oh, and listening for Martha, or not Martha.
That she can't fly fast enough to reverse time.
Yeah. Although
is that Superman Returns?
No, that's the first Superman.
Oh, okay, so the first one. Yeah.
Which I'm sure they're gonna miss that in a later episode, and she's gonna do something like that.
Right. But anyways, I was so excited that I heard it.
Yeah. Like
because I did not hear. I had to rewatch. I think probably the 3rd time I watched this that I actually understood anything that happened between Lena and Rhea. Because I was so
that bothered me. That whole.
Yeah. I don't like it.
But I'm glad they put in there her getting pissed with the heat vision, because it was great. His reaction to it was like, "That's really cool up front."
Oh, I know.
It wasn't nearly as good as Batman v Superman. I'm just saying it because the way Henry Cavill delivers it, and it's just like I actually felt physically ill during that scene. It was amazing, but I still liked it. It was still fun. I love Rick. Bring him back. I wrote down, like, I'm sad that he is not playing Luthor, like Lex Luthor. Yeah. Because he's so good.
Well, and then, so I watched a little bit of the AfterBuzz review, because I just can't watch them anymore. But they were talking about how, they also agreed that it could have been a 2-part episode, but how he he's not just some guy who's evil to be evil.
Yeah.
He didn't just, oh, your mom imprisoned me and I want to get you back. He has a legit, like, he obviously has a little bit of a screw loose. He was abused as a child, so you could have fleshed him out so much more, is what I'm saying.
And I'm glad that they said his mother abused him.
Yes.
And that it was his dad who cared for him and, what do you say, got him through school. Yeah,
like, he found his dad, found his father that he never had before, and so you understand why he wants to, but then Supergirl, oh, I'm getting so, sorry, I'm so discombobulated with this episode. So you understand why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
He has a, oh my gosh, what is, like a utopian view of it. So to him, his father, manslaughterer instead of murderer.
Yeah.
And he knows he did wrong, but he still feels that he is owed this because he is keeping Kara secret. Yeah. But then Supergirl, when she's talking to the dad, says that too. He's using words like rescue and this or that. And I loved her speech to him. As much as they let her get away with speeches, and that's how she rescues people, I at least liked this speech to him.
It was a good speech, and well, I'm just gonna say, like, my whole problem with this episode, because I loved it almost the entire episode, was my problem lied mostly with Kara, and then Maggie.
I will fight you.
And then Maggie not being the person who saved the day, basically, that it became Supergirl.
Interesting.
It's that typical thing where it's like, it was usually, in this show, it's usually the woman beating down the man or whatever, and showing him what's what, but they did it to Maggie. Because her whole stance during the entire episode is, use your words. And I get what they're trying to do with making her a more vulnerable character inside, where she was putting up a front, and she's being strong for everyone else around her, and then she just couldn't hold it together, I guess, near the end. But I don't care about that. I thought it would have been much better just to have her be the one to save the day, and Kara is the one that learns the lesson of not having to use action every time. And
I did it a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
She finally hears Maggie, and she gets there, and then and she tells Maggie, like, you're right, I can't punch my way through this, you're doing this wrong too, and that's where she talks to the dad in that moment. But I agree that they did.
Yeah. What I would have liked would be if she went to, because like she goes to the place and Rick tells her not to, which was just fun to watch.
Oh my gosh! And then Maggie tells her not to.
Yeah. But if I would have loved it if she had come back and said, "Okay, Maggie, what do we do?" And then we follow Maggie's lead from there. Maggie, I know you we'll probably want to talk about it a lot, but Maggie's scene with Alex over the phone was
the laptop.
So great.
The laptop.
Yes.
It's a laptop.
It's a laptop, not even a real person.
And I have been struggling this week because I'm not one to reach out to actors and actresses and stuff like that, but I do, however, get giddy when they respond to me. And I might do this because I need to know if this was TV magic, or so is she acting to the laptop and Kyler's off screen, and when Kyler is acting to the camera, is Floriana Lima off screen? Or is it a live feed and they are actually feeding off each other? I might need to tweet them or Instagram them and find out, because it's killing me.
I don't think that's something that would bother them.
Because Floriana Lima in this, holy crap.
She rocked it.
Oh my, like, I'm getting chills again.
And then but then she was still shoved off to the side.
I know, it's so annoying. So it's funny that you say that that you wish Maggie had been the one to save the day to teach Kara the lesson, rather than her learn it, by seeing Maggie go all out. Because half of the fandom, or majority of the fandom, from what I'm reading, are pissed off that they think that Sanvers got overshadowed the sister relationship in this episode. Because we got the I love you scenes, and they're like, oh, Supergirl would have been standing by her bedside too. And I'm like, the whole point of this episode, yes, it was to get the I love yous out, but it was to show the familial love and the relationship love, or that it doesn't have to be blood. And I'm gonna get a little. I don't even know if the word's political or what it is, but especially with Maggie and knowing that her family kicked her out as LGBTQ, and we're not we don't have, oh my gosh, we don't have a capital on this. I don't know if that's the right word. We're not the only one. We are not the only group of people who have this issue, but a lot of times, our blood family isn't our family. Like, they are not, we choose our family. And it's the people who come into our lives and stuff. So I love that about this show. Because they're adopted sisters. Yeah. They're not blood. And then you have, you know, James and Wynn. And so the only blood relations we have are Alex and Eliza.
Yeah, and they're not even in the show.
And, well, Eliza's not in the show,
yeah.
and it's a strained relationship. Anyways, I love that Rick sets that up, too. When they're trying to walk out, he says, who loves her more? Yeah. And Kara's just like, you can see it in her, like, the way she puffs up. She's like, it's me. And Maggie's just like, damn it, don't do that.
Yeah.
Floriana Lima, I cannot stop talking about her. She was just amazing this episode. And Kyler Lee, freaking the stunt coordinator, yanked her out in mid scene because he said it looked too real. She tweeted it. That he had the stunt team yank her out mid-scene because it looked too real when she was drowning.
Oh, cool. That's really cool.
I love it. You know Alex isn't gonna die.
She used a Boy Scout thing. See, I know they call it a Navy SEAL move, but it's typical Boy Scouts. I mean, not enough people recognize that. That was really cool. I've never seen anyone use it before.
That was awesome. And then she freaking digs her tracker out because Alex Danvers is a freaking badass. And Maggie even says it.
Yeah, and I was like, it's circle jerking, but it's true.
I don't care.
Yeah, I was like, they've earned it. They've earned it in spades.
And just, oh my gosh, like everything, I'm getting goosebumps again. All right, let's talk about the opening scene is Maggie negotiating. I love seeing her doing detective work, whether she's supposed to be a negotiator or not.
17 hours.
Right, 17 hours. Where the hell's Supergirl been the whole time? Why hasn't she helped out?
Yeah,
I'm
totally on her side. Like, screw you, dude.
And then I love Floriana Lima, but I love Maggie's reaction when she hears it because she automatically knows, just like, right? Hangs up the phone.
Yeah.
And then when, I just love it. Have you seen the meme of when Mon-El says, being somewhat of a superhero myself? No, I haven't seen it. Alex goes, and Maggie's just setting down her glass of wine and she just So somebody took a screenshot of that exact moment and I'm gonna use it for everything. But anyways, I don't think I've ever like scoffed so loud at a television show before.
Yeah.
But he delivered that line so well.
Oh, I thought you meant when she came in and I thought you were gonna say when she came in and took all the glory, but
oh no. When Mon-El says that line. I loved Kyler Lee. I want to know. See, this is. If I worked on a TV show, I would only want to be behind the scenes, but just so I could see all this stuff happen. I want to know if this was a director's thing, like, okay, pull the smoke detector off and throw it in the trash, or was it Kyler Lee like, I'm gonna pull this off and throw it in the trash because it's funny. She pulls the smoke detector off the wall and throws it in the trash when Kara's coming in with the pizza. I've told you I've watched this episode too much.
Oh, I was writing down. I do miss things here
when you're writing.
Tidbits when I'm writing.
But I loved that whole scene. The tension between Maggie and Kara, I feel like has been there all along. I don't feel like they are, until the moment at the end, they have not had a good relationship. She's the one who broke her sister's heart, and then Alex forgives her because she says, I'm sorry. Like, as a sister standpoint.
This is one of those things where it's like, I can't have it both ways, but like, I feel like they should have shown more of their disagreeing.
Right.
Between Supergirl and Maggie, because I love that line where she's like, I get along great with Kara. I just don't get along with Supergirl.
Well, we get it in when the alien's in the trunk.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, oh, right, I forgot you guys are buddies.
Yeah, but I feel like they should have shown more and gone more into their little bit of a feud, because they did have that whole thing with the episode where they went to the Bare Naked Ladies concert or whatever. They had that.
Little bit of a tension. That's Kara Maggie tension, not Supergirl. Yeah. And I love that they finally addressed how does the police department feel about Supergirl.
That was one of my problems, was the whole Supergirl defense thing. There's no way that Kara does not know, unless she's just the most ignorant person around, that she does not know that this is happening.
Well, we've talked about how she's very self-righteous. I mean, she even tells her, she's like, I stand for truth and justice and hope. Did you like the line in the whole context of it when she says, "You never look before you leap because I can fly"? Did it still
it makes sense to me, but it still sounds stupid.
Well, it sounds stupid because it's an ignorant way for Kara to think.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're doing with her character, though. Is I think they're building her up for a fall, in my opinion.
And I hope it comes soon, and I hope it lasts a long time because it wears on me a lot. Well, let's see what else.
Yeah, let's get into your stuff because I got lots.
So the whole flashback. So about the flashback with her, because they brought it back, her saving that person.
Right. Well, that's the Rick that asked Alex out on a date.
It was funny because like earlier today I was on Reddit where there's a thread where they were talking about the scene that I talked about, one of the scenes I don't like that Supergirl does, where it kind of talks down to Man of Steel because people don't understand what they're trying to actually say in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole why the Kents wouldn't let their son out, like be around a lot of people and go out and save people and whatnot, because stuff like this happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a really cool flashback. Where was I going with that? I don't know. Yeah, I totally just dropped that.
Well, that was good. You were on Reddit. You were talking about the scene.
But yeah, no, I guess I just said everything I needed to say about that.
Okay. It just shows why that. And the Danvers, they got her as a teenager. It's different when he's a kid.
Yeah.
And she didn't understand that, I can't use my powers and this or that. So I think I could see how it's a little different, and they didn't do a great job. But they put it on Alex, for crying out loud. Of course they didn't do a great job.
Okay, now I remember. Okay, so this is one of the stupidest lines I've ever heard.
Oh gosh.
I was laughing so hard. When Rick's telling like what the other kids thought about the whole interaction, where he's like, and then we saw Alex Danvers' sister do whatever, and then she walked away unscathed. Everyone just chalked it up to adrenaline. It's like, adrenaline doesn't make you invulnerable. Like it doesn't,
but it's the ignorance of the people all around. It's just like
it's just really stupid line. Like, wait, what?
I think it's just pointing out the ignorance of people, like how we've talked about it in different things. How do you not know that, Barry is the Flash when this happens? Or how do you not know that Oliver is Arrow when he's taking his mask off? Or it's the blind, people are blind for a reason, like they want to be blind.
Okay, it was just their reasoning of it that made me do a double take. Let's see what else. A lot of Rick notes. Just like Rick is great.
He was so good. I loved. So someone put it online. What was it? That they call that he's a terrorist. And it's not. I hate doing the whole race card, but it's he looks like a very clean cut white boy.
Yeah.
And then they're using words like terrorist, and it wasn't the overt agenda wasn't there this time.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't hitting you over the head.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes. Like they still had an agenda. They still wanted to make their point, but it was not. Yeah. They didn't even make a Dax is great type thing or anything like that.
Yeah.
How about the stalking of them? Like he's been stalking.
Yeah.
So he's been stalking Alex for over a year, and so that means.
Which is so Lex Luthor. It's just so awesome.
But in the Music Meister episode, Kara said 9 months or 10 months or something like that has been this season. So that means Maggie and Alex have been together for about 9 months. Well, no, they didn't get together until.
Well, I don't.
Like 2 or 3
he was probably
months
watching
until,
even before.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah. So he's watched Alex because he knew that how important she was, and he knew that this was the play.
Yeah.
But then he got to see this whole thing, and I love that. There was a little bit of like homophobia in there, but not a ton. But you could tell he's just trying to dig under Maggie's skin.
I didn't see it. But.
Well, it's like he's saying typical misogynistic stuff of who knew she would wind up playing for the other team, and I was just happy she agreed to the date, and like just little things like he was just trying to get under Maggie's skin, and when he's talking to her about how your hand brushes, I'm getting chills again.
You're so good. Like I said, I'm really sad he's not Lex Luthor.
Right.
His whole thing with Martian Manhunter, calls him out about like trying to be his dad, and
he's like good. I wasn't sure to hug you or not.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
They got me for a second, and it's probably because I was so distracted by all the Sanders and the Alex stuff. But it got me for a split second. I really thought they went and got him to come to try to talk him down, not to free him, but try to talk him down. One
of the lines though that kind of gave me a hint though. I don't know if it was supposed to be a hint, but when Maggie said we moved heaven and earth to get your dad out, and it's like DEO should probably have no trouble getting a prisoner. Not even like a high-level prisoner, like a high-profile prisoner, out of jail or transferred.
What tipped it off to me was when he said, "Give us something." I was like, "Oh, that's not his dad."
Yeah.
No.
Although I don't know why he transformed back into
Martian Manhunter.
Into Hank, and I don't know if because I don't know if
he knew.
Rick knew about that identity.
Oh, Rick knew.
Okay.
He said he called him out. He said, "You don't think I've been watching you all for over a year? You don't think I know about your tricks? He said, I think he even said you're Martian."
Yeah, he said Martian, but like I'm not sure but you still don't know if like he's seen Martian Manhunter himself, like in his not his true form, because even the green form isn't his true form, but if he's just seen him or if he's seen Hank as Martian Manhunter.
I took it as he's seen him as Hank.
Okay.
That's how I took it.
Because that was a quibble for me.
Yeah.
And okay, so my last big one that I had quibble was John mind wiping people that know Kara's identity.
Oh gosh, so they just use it when they want.
And there's actually a really good comic book. I'm not a fan of the art, but the whole concept is amazing. Called Identity Crisis, where because like in the early like first comic books, they always had these like adventures. The Justice League always had these adventures with their villains where the villains would find out their identities and they swap bodies or whatever. But then they would never go into what the villains did with that identity. They just like they would all of a sudden they just wouldn't know. Like it wasn't like something that they were actively doing. It's kind of like a retcon because it was just like one venture to the next and it didn't really have any flow together. But you find out in this comic book that something really bad happened to one of the Justice League members' wives. She was raped. And half of the Justice League got together and said, because Superman, Batman, and like some other ones weren't around, and these other like Green Arrow and the Flash and all these other guys got together and said, "Hey Zatanna, we want you to wipe all these villains' minds of our identities." But then you find out that Batman walked in on them at one time, and they wiped his memory. And he's pissed. Like it's this whole thing where like the Justice League member whose wife was raped, she ends up being murdered by another Justice League member's wife, and it's this whole amazing story.
And soap opera.
Yeah, but it's all comes from this whole mind wiping your enemies, like mind wiping your identities out of their heads, and it's just like this huge slippery slope that I really am not okay with them just using Martian Manhunter like that. Okay.
So I'm gonna lean in and read it real quick.
Stupid.
Agreed. Wait, what's stupid? Where it was in the scene or the whole storyline?
The whole storyline, because there's so many flaws in it. Like, there's no way that she can just pop up on the radar as being this brilliant scientist who has all these ideas. I mean, but then they kind of fix it with revealing that she's an alien, but it's like there's no way she should have known immediately that this person who just came out of nowhere with like this Nobel Prize winning idea for
you mean Rhea?
For
yes,
Rhea.
that's what I thought.
She comes in with this idea for a teleporter. Mm-hmm. It's like this person should have written journals and stuff. There's no way her company just all of a sudden popped up out of nowhere.
Yep. And I felt like the whole way she went about it was just to give more screen time to Lena, and this or that, and I don't know. It was very weird.
Yeah.
I think that. We did get the alien device back though. She apparently has fixed it since Kara visioned it.
I was very.
As soon as she was like, "Oh, we need your thumbprint," I was like, "Yes!"
Yes, I was like, "Oh."
It's like, "We got you."
Although,
it's like, Lena's smarter than you look, Lena.
Although what made her suspect she's an alien was kind of dumb. I can kind of see
an element that doesn't exist on Earth.
No. It was she said gods.
Well, no. Rhea asked if it was the gods, but Lena said it requires an element that doesn't exist on Earth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she started going to all this science jumbo, and I was just like, cool. Yeah, she says it requires an element that...
Yeah, the strange metal.
Yep. So that's what tipped her off, but I think Rhea thought it was her speaking of the gods.
Okay, so what I thought, I must have missed that, because I remember hearing it, but I guess I just didn't click in my head because I thought she said gods, and then it was like, oh, and then looked into the strange metal thing and realized. Okay, but
once again, I've watched this episode a few times.
Yeah, because I was like, it's not unheard of for people who believe in polytheism. So, but then just this whole idea that because Kara didn't pick up the phone and talk to her, that she went down the wrong. I'm really hoping it's some sort of plot that she has going on to.
Well, I don't think that she's quite evil just yet. I think she still thinks Rhea is trying to go home.
Okay, so I don't like that.
Me either, because obviously she's going to be bringing either Daxamites or an army to Earth.
Yeah,
is what she's going to do.
A portal to any, just a portal in general just opens you up to invasion.
Yep, especially if you're an alien.
Yes.
You're working with an alien.
Yes.
So yes, the whole like Kara didn't pick up the phone. I've seen this theory also that's why, because that one episode later after she says I'm here for you when Jack was killed and everything, and then she has no time for her.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna make her evil. Don't do that, guys. If you're gonna make her evil, don't do it until season 3 sometime.
Or just make her already evil, that she knows Supergirl is Kara.
That's what I'm waiting for. She's gotta know.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should do it. They should have her know, and she should start making jokes that that Kara gets a little suspicious on, but doesn't pick up on.
Because she's already made jokes and stuff.
Yeah, she's made stuff like Kara or that.
She made one this episode. I think. I'm pretty sure she made one this episode about. I don't know, it was about like flying or something.
Oh, no, she only talked to Kara. I don't know, maybe, but she like the kryptonite joke, and then I hope they do that with Rena.
I just hope she already knows she's not.
Me too.
That she's not some idiot that glasses fooled her.
Right. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of Sandverse.
Oh, I was like, we haven't already gone to the nitty gritty of this episode.
Like, I loved seeing. Like I said before, I want the inks. Give me all the inks. And I have goosebumps, and I'm going to stumble over my words, so I apologize. It was so well written, so well acted, shot so phenomenally. Like, Kyler, I know Alex isn't going to die, and I knew they were going to save her, but it still was amazing watching her struggle like that.
Yeah,
like, when she's gasping with her face at the gate.
Yeah.
It was good.
I was hoping for more of Alex.
That's what I'm saying, like 2 episodes.
Yeah, because like again, like when you think about all that they could have done, it easily could have been, but I'm also still okay with this.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to not seen her talk at all. Like if it was a 2 episode, like in the first episode, you don't see her talk at all. It's all about her struggling and trying to get out. Like that'd be cool if she didn't even have any lines and just.
Yeah. One of the best things about it is, one, it's Alex, so she never once panics and freaks and sits and hides. The whole time she's trying to figure out a way out. One of my favorite things is Kyler Lee in the background. When Rick shows up and Supergirl's watching her and he cuts the feed and they're talking, she's going ape shit, excuse my language, in the background.
That was one of the funniest, it was a stupid funny moment. Because when Kara goes in, it's like, Alex! And he's like, I can't hear you. Right. It's like, are you stupid?
Right.
It's one of the,
she's panicked.
But still, it's really dumb. Archer there's an episode where his mom gets kidnapped, and he keeps yelling at the screen. He's like, she can't hear you! That's all that was in my head, the entire scene. It's just like, yeah.
But then another scene is when Maggie's talking to the laptop, it's hard to tear your eyes away from Florida Lima in that scene because it's amazing. But just watching Kyler Lee's acting go from, I need to talk to you, and she's trying to give her the I love you speech.
Yeah.
And then you see her badass Agent Danvers down there, but then she slowly, while listening to the woman she loves tell her these things, she starts to get into the shy, bashful, actual Alex. And it's just...
I like that term where she's like, I really need to tell you this last information and stuff, and I need to tell you I love you and stuff, but it's just like, you know what, no, I'll play along with it.
Yep. And I love that,
Gertrude.
Well, Gertrude is amazing. And it better be a German Shepherd or a Husky or something.
Don't be a stupid little lady.
It's gotta be a big dog. But when she tells Kara, go ahead.
I think that was a Superman Returns reference.
Gertrude?
Because Lex is...
Good, because everyone's trying to figure it out.
Because Lex is swindling this old lady at the beginning of the movie.
I read that.
And I think her name was Gertrude. So.
when Alex tells Kara, do not give in to this terrorist, Supergirl is bigger than me. I was just like, oh, it got me. Because she believes that. Like Alex is obviously willing to die for Kara, but she also believes that you can't give in just for me or anybody, but even for me. But yeah, she tells Kara, like, Supergirl is bigger than me. And I love that because that's been the running theme all along. But I also love that, let's go all the way back to season 1 ending when Kara is telling Alex, and she's like, you've got to live your life, you've got to be happy, you've got to find love, you've got to, promise me. And that's it, and she promises. And then Maggie walks in and she says, I need to talk to you alone. The look that Kara and Maggie share, first off, I was like, ooh, because Kara's like, are you kidding me?
It's like, get over yourself.
But then Maggie doesn't hesitate. She grabs the laptop and she's out of there, and then the whole speech.
I'm glad Kara wasn't listening in on it.
Right?
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yes. I think it's become a reflex for Kara not to. Because
good.
I feel that way anyway. Because a lot of times, we're like, oh, you could use your super hearing. I think she has to consciously use her super hearing because of how the Danvers, raised her and such. But anyways, when, oh my gosh, I just lost my whole train of thought because of that. Good job. What was I talking about? So it goes back to season 1 when, Kara has to tell Alex goodbye, but she couldn't do it in person. And Alex can't show this weakness, I mean, not weakness, but she can't show to Kara that she has doubts. That she can't tell Kara, I love you, if you don't save me, it's okay. She has to make sure that Supergirl has hope, that has fight. If she were to say, you're bigger, that Supergirl's bigger than me, and then turn around and say, I love you, it's okay if I die.
I took it as a different way, because I took it as, she mentioned it before, but I took it as Supergirl cannot give in to demands from terrorists and, whenever they take someone hostage, because then that just opens the floodgates for everything. It's the whole Green Hornets thing, why they become villains. Because once they grab an innocent person, then they have by the short and curlies. Right.
Well, no, I agree with that. I'm saying the reason that she had to talk to Maggie and give Maggie her goodbye speech. She can't show that to Kara.
Yeah.
She can't say, be strong and then, and then say her goodbye. She had to have, she told Kara, you'll save me, basically.
Yeah.
But then when Maggie, she's like, I gotta talk to you, because she hasn't said I love you yet. And I'm getting goosebumps. Shut up, Jadon. But she hasn't said I love you, and I just love that Maggie shuts her down and just is like, no. But then let's go back to the whole, Maggie should have been heard thing. The dialogue is what I love, because again, I've watched Sanford scenes probably a hell of a lot more than you have.
Yeah.
When Maggie and Alex get into the argument about Valentine's Day, Maggie tells her my pet peeve is not being heard. And then she uses that same verbiage. Is that the word?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, whatever. Same dialogue. She tells Kara, I should have been heard. And she is 100% right. And you are correct. Like, why weren't they utilizing Maggie more? She has been in hostage situations where you don't have... Basically, right now, you can't use your superpowers. You can't use John. You can't use Supergirl. Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, because that whole brought up the whole thing of, like... They could have, like, if those robbers had left the bank on their own volition, they could have cut a deal or something. But then that gets thrown into the wind, and I liked how they brought up that, if there's a big purple monster or whatever, then that's fine. Yeah, come in. But like regular police work where they have to tread so carefully with like a hostage situation and stuff like that, just to have her come in and swoop down and break people's arms and stuff is...
Concussion, a broken arm. And then you also have the whole idea of rehabilitation. That... Maggie's like, I had them. I was talking them down. They would have done it on their own, and then because they did it on their own, maybe they fix their lives. They become good people again.
Or now they might become supervillains.
Yep. So I do. I love that. I love the whole freaking scene at dinner, though.
Yeah.
Like, gosh, they did so well. And just Florida Lima, I can't stop. Like, if she's acting just to a laptop, even more so am I amazed.
It's like the whole La La Land scene where...
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh. Well, there's one scene, it's not a spoiler, it's just one scene where she's doing an audition and she's on the phone with absolutely no one. And she pulls out this whole crying scene and it's amazing. And it's just to herself.
And I mean, they are amazing. They can do this. When they audition and they read sides and they read lines, they can literally, put emotion and put these little nicks and stuff and niches and stuff into their facial expressions and the words, because that's what they do. They are creative. They're able to do that. It's still amazing. Yeah. If I'm gonna have to Instagram them and find out, and I'll let you know.
Lock.
Watch what?
A movie called Lock with Tom Hardy. The whole movie, he's in a car. It's just a camera on his face, and he's goes through a bunch of phone calls and stuff.
I probably won't enjoy that.
I thought it was like, this is stupid, but it's Tom Hardy.
Yeah, but I'm in love with Ryan Reynolds.
But no, like the acting will move you, and it's just him in a car talking to people on the phone, and it's amazing. Maybe.
I'm in love with Ryan Reynolds, and I couldn't get through his Buried movie.
I think it's better than that.
So maybe. I don't know. I'd watch a whole movie of Tyler Lee just in a car. But your crush on Tom Hardy is my crush on Tyler Lee.
I don't think you
don't think mine is substantial?
Nothing touches my love for Hardy.
We're getting off topic, but just...
My love is Hardy.
Let's talk about the end scenes real quick, because we haven't talked about them. Talked about it before, how these women they look like they're in love. And I know actors and actresses, there's been a handful that I have actually believed it. Meredith and Derek from Grey's.
Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone and Spider-Man.
Sure. That's one of yours. I didn't even feel Buffy and Angel, Buffy and Spike did a good job. Well, not that they didn't do a good job, but as characters I knew it, but as just...
I haven't seen enough of it.
Anyways, when these two women, they do so well. Even Kyler Lee on Grey's Anatomy with Lexi and Sloane. You can tell that they have feelings for each other and stuff. I don't know. There's just something different. Maybe it's Floriana Lima's acting that adds a dynamic to it that was missing or something.
Maybe.
But there's just been, for me personally, there's been a handful. And this scene is so touching. And they're just, I love them.
Yeah, and Alex is like, are you okay? And it's like...
Right? Are you freaking kidding me? I love that Alex said it first. Because... she's new. She's a baby gay, she's newly outed, and if you've ever dated someone who's first realizing that they're gay, you always have a nagging fear that, they're going to find out that they're going to think they're missing out or something, and that's what Maggie had. And it happens. So the fact that Alex said it first is very realistic. It's very realistic. And, oh my gosh, just everything about them, though. The whole Maggie's I want to have first with you and naming your puppy. Do you want to get a dog? She did it so well.
Yeah. I think you're mixing scenes, but yeah.
I know I'm mixing scenes. I told you I would. Because I'm just going back and forth with Floriana Lima's delivery of this. The writing obviously was there. But the delivery of it, she just never missed a beat, at least in the scenes that we saw. Maybe it's 5 different takes cut together. I don't care.
Maybe. Yeah.
What they showed us looks flawless.
Yeah.
And so back to the end scene. I love that Alex says, "Are you okay?" And Maggie's just like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Yeah.
And then when they say their "I love yous," Alex questions it. Yeah? And, I love it. So, anyways, you can speak.
Yeah, this whole episode felt like Floriana Lima has been sitting on behind stage waiting for her episode. And then they finally gave it to her, so she just went...
Right, it's like, well, if this is all I'm gonna get.
Yeah. I really hope that Rick comes back. I thought it was... I didn't need this line from Wen where, oh, you don't get to talk to her or whatever. It's like, calm down.
Yes and no. It was the line was a little weird itself.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of he makes things funny that aren't funny.
It was the trope of it was just a tropey line. That's why I didn't like it.
But what I did like about it though is that how much he hates confrontation but he stands up for Alex.
Yeah, and he does when he confronts people, it is always in a big way. Like when he confronts Kara, this being.
Yes.
And he just stands in front of her. So, yeah, I just had a problem with the line itself in that it's so cliche.
Yes. Maybe that's what it was, because it was kind of cringy, but at the same time, good job, Wen.
Yeah. So on one hand, again, I'm hoping Rick comes back, but on the other hand, I'm hoping he doesn't, because I don't want him to suddenly become a supervillain, because his reasons for doing what he was doing were just so...
human.
Yeah, and personal.
But they're wiping his mind. I don't see him coming back.
Oh yeah. That whole thing. Okay.
Yeah. What about Kara and Maggie?
Burying
the hatchet a little bit.
Yeah, it was It was fun. It was cute that she goes for a handshake and she's like, what is what?
And she brings in the hug. And then Jean gives Maggie a hug with Alex. Alex had this look of pride on her face.
She's part of the family.
And it should have been before Mon-El, but we won't talk about that.
Okay.
Because a couple episodes ago, Jean called Mon-El family. Anyways. But yeah, she's in the group now. She's part of the family.
Yep.
Space Dad approves.
Big Daddy Martian.
He already approved before.
Yeah.
How about the look of pure pride? And I'm kind of turned on a little bit from Maggie when Alex punched Rick.
Oh, I didn't see her yet.
Oh my gosh. Like, you get Kara and Mon-El's reaction, but you can see, like, Maggie's right there and she's just like...
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Although I don't blame you, Maggie. It's fine.
Alright. So, what do you think will happen with the whole...
God, 3 episodes left.
Rhea, and you think there's going to be another invasion?
Yes.
Daxamite invasion?
I already told you there is. Like, the
hope
Inspeedy gets attacked because Maggie's got the shotgun. So, that's happening. Cat Grant's coming back. Probably for the last freaking episode. But Cat Grant's coming back.
And
Superman's returning.
Superman Light's coming back.
I just picked that up.
Oh,
I'm excited. I said last week I hope that they keep it ramped up after Alex, and it looks like they're going to.
Yeah.
Rhea's obviously the villain for the last little bit, and she's trying to turn everybody against Supergirl. We'll see. Like, it's a mind control thing again. Yeah. It's something because there's a kid actor who his eyes are glowing and he's trying to attack somebody. So I think they're going to try to pit Supergirl into having to fight humans or to put humans down as gently as possible, sort of thing. That's just from my take from the one time I was also still like on Sandverse when I watched this preview.
Okay.
But I think that they're going to keep the pace. It's just going to be ramped up to 90 the rest of the 3 episodes. And I'm okay with that.
Alright. Yeah, sounds good to me, except for the mind control.
Alright.
And, well, I guess Andrea, she's just been thrown in and it's just...
I know.
Yeah.
I know. The whole thing is, mind control last year, mind control this year, as long as you don't go, like, another CW show and be all like, let's pull a lever every season to end it.
It feels like that's what they're trying to do. Well, I thought you were talking about the Flash in there.
Oh. No, that's not... We're going to talk about the Flash.
And their whole thing with timelines.
Oh gosh, let's just not even...